You guys hear me? Oh, there we go. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing tonight? You know, when the kids are in the house, we have the best time. So this is going to be a real long meeting tonight. You guys ready to stay up for the next couple of hours? I like it. I like it. So we're going to go ahead and get started, call the meeting to order, and let the record reflect that all council members are present and accounted for. Tonight, the invocation is going to be given by Pastor James Hunick. And he attended Concordia University, Wisconsin. Concordia University, Wisconsin is a Lutheran higher education community committed to helping students develop in mind, body, and spirit for service to Christ in the church and the world. He married his wife, Kristen, in 2003, moved to St. Louis, Missouri, where he studied at Concordia Seminary. Pastor Hunick went on to serve several churches in the Chicago area for his next 13 years of ministry. I'm going to stop there just for a little bit of trivia and education. Most people don't know this, and I'm sure you do, Pastor, that the majority of Chicago was raised 12 feet above the water line because otherwise the city could not exist there. So there's a little trivia for you. And so where was I? And so Pastor Hunick is excited about serving both the congregation and the El Cajon community. He loves helping others see the beauty and grace of Jesus Christ as seen through the teachings of the Lutheran Church, to give them the comfort and peace only Jesus can give. And in his free time, he enjoys photography, researching Lutheran history, writing, and cooking. Maybe we have to have you out to cook us some lunch or something sometime. And we thank you for being here tonight. We ask that you pray for our country, for the soldiers and those first responders around the globe that are helping, whether it's in our country or another one, and our state of California, and of course this great state of Santee, city of Santee. So we're going to start with the invocation, and then I think I'm going to have Council Member McNellis lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So please rise.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, you made all things and continue to guide and sustain all of creation. We ask that you watch over all the people that you have made. Bless our nation and guide its leaders that they make good decisions in accordance with justice and righteousness. Watch over all those who put their lives on the line to protect us, whether abroad or at home. Bless our state. Guide the leaders there that they may also make good decisions, and this city, knowing that you are the one who gives all good things. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me in pledging allegiance to the flag of the greatest country in the world. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Well, we have a special recognition tonight, and I'm not sure who it's going to. Anybody catch who's getting that special recognition tonight?
Well, you look at the picture up on the...
Yep.
Oh.
Right there.
Jason, you want to come up here real quick with me? Start. So, you guys, we do these recognitions for, young men and women in this city that do great things, go above and beyond, do some awesome things. And we had a group of a dozen young ladies that had a great accomplishment this year. So, you guys come on up. Everybody come on up. Exceptional.
Exceptional accomplishment.
But I want to start the story off, and Jason, I want you to tell the story of how you all beat Bonita Vista this year, okay? Because
this is legit. This is a real deal.
That was the big rivalry, right? You guys lost to Bonita Vista 5 times? Is that right? Yeah, something like that. So tell everybody about how the season went for you guys.
I would say that, that rivalry started back in fall of last year. We seemed to match up against them in a lot of championship games. So they've gotten our number plenty of times. In All-Stars, we started in May, and 5 different championship games we made, and they had gotten our number. So we went to the state championship, 54 teams, went out there and battled through, went undefeated, saw them in the semifinals, and beat them there, and they had to come back and try to beat us, and we beat them in the championship game as well, or what we call the championship game. So
when you girls found out who you were going to play in that game, how did you feel in the moment? Did you? You felt excited? Or maybe a little like, oh, come on, anybody but them. But then you beat them. You beat them the first time. How cool was that? But how cool was it when you did it the second time? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a big round of applause, our state champions. We do have some certificates of recognition here for you, ladies, and the team. You want to do it?
Yeah, we're going to read one of them, that's it. And in 10U Gold All-Stars, dominating the 2026 USA Softball of Southern California B-State Championship, which took place from July 3 to July 5, 2026 in Irvine, California. Congratulations, you guys.
And I got one for Adeline. Where's Adeline?
Come on up.
There's yours.
Aria.
Audrey. There you go.
Braylon.
Bridget. Parents, if you want to start coming up to
Charlotte.
take pictures, come on up. Amira? I was so close.
Heartland.
Malia?
Marlo.
Peyton?
That's it. Oh, wait. Quinn?
If you guys want to come up and take pictures from up here, come on up.
Come up, get pictures of everybody.
Come on into the very front here so they can, right here, right in the front. Yep, right in here.
You need to be in there too. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. All the coaches too.
On 3, say Santee. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Santee! Congratulations, ladies.
But it works. It makes us smile.
Congratulations.
You guys really don't have to stay now if you don't, so.
Wait a minute. You got 3 more hours. Where are you going? Bye. Thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah, only the crazy people stay, right? Carl. All right, we're going to go to the calendar now. Are there any items to be added, deleted, or reordered? Ron?
I'm so tempted. No.
Laura?
None for me.
Dustin?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Council member?
None for me, sir.
Nope.
City attorney?
Nope.
Any speaker slips?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve.
Second.
Please vote.
Motion carries unanimously.
That takes us to non-agenda public comment.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we have 3 in-person speakers and 2 virtual speakers registered to speak. However, only 1 is online at the moment. The first in-person speaker is going to be John Hosick.
Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council. So normally I come up here and I have a really happy-go-lucky kind of feel-good sort of thing, right? But before I get to where and why I needed to be here, I really want to appreciate you, Rob, for acknowledging the efforts of our backpack program and really your leadership to actually make that a viable program along with Dustin. And also, Mayor, thank you for showing up for that event and supporting it all these years. I know, Laura, you were not feeling well, so I apologize. So the last city council meeting, I was going to actually talk about the Buddy Backpack Program. But I had heard about what was happening with Camerons. And so I basically abdicated that so that basically we could address what was most important, and that was the residents of that park. What is most disappointing in sitting in that meeting, I'm an advocate for the mobile home parks. I don't think there's anyone on that city council that knows that does not know that. Not one phone call, not one text, not one please assist them. It's really disturbing. And the reason I say that is these are your most elderly, most at risk people in your community. And they're living under the swelter of the heat in these tin boxes, and you have a park management that has refused to take ownership, much less do the right thing, meet with them face to face. This problem was probably identified weeks prior to that meeting, and maybe nothing was done when it should have been done. So someone asked, well, there's not much that we can do. So I know that they said, maybe you said, go ahead and reach out to HCD, right? The problem with that program is it's pretty much got no more teeth in it. And that's a problem. However, you guys do have some exercise of power. You can put them on the agenda. You can say, hey, we want to see you guys in public. You're going to face the music of what you're doing to these people. We're going to stop your permits. We're going to demand that you meet with the residents. We're going to request that you actually compensate them for what they have went through. Could you imagine running out of your house and you don't even know if you're going to survive because your oxygen tank doesn't work? What if your family member's on hospice and they have to survive? What if all the food that you have goes to waste? What if this wasn't the first incident that happened? What if it was the gas that they had messed up on? What if in 2014 we did an actual NOI where they got 2.1 million in total rents, where now they're at 5.4 million?
The next
Are you
speaker
telling me that we
is
can't
Adam
do something
Daniels.
more?
Try it again. Nope. Every time. Howdy, Adam Daniels, President of Santee Firefighters Association, here to represent the Santee Firefighters Association and express our support for the tax initiative going on the November ballot. First, I'd like to talk about just my appreciation, again, with the council putting it on the ballot, but also with city staff doing their due diligence in doing the budget and recognizing the needs that are necessary to keep the city running. So the city staff has done a great job in recognizing that stuff. And also, I really want to appreciate the community getting behind this. The Taxpayers Association has endorsed it, and community involvement has been huge on this. We've had a good response with our meetings and good response with our surveys throughout the community. We did 2 surveys throughout the community. Both those surveys came back positive, so we really appreciate that. Some of the exciting stuff that happens with this tax initiative is obviously takes care of our infrastructure needs and our public safety needs. With that being said, it's a shared cost between not only our community, but the people that shop in our community, which is good. I took an oath to protect this community. I do not live here, but this is a community I took an oath to protect, and so it's important to me. Back a handful of years now, we had an ICMA report that shows coverage gaps in the north end of the city, and that's one of the most important things to me is to get that coverage gap filled in the north end of the city. So this tax initiative makes it more plausible to get that coverage gap taken care of. Again, I want to reiterate, you call 911, we're going to show up. I just want to be able to show up under that 4-minute time frame. That's the national standard. Right now, we're about 7 minutes from that north end of the city. This would allow us to help build Station 24 and get staffing, eventually staff that part of the town. With that being said, like I said, last time we had a couple of fires in that side of the city, and we did not meet that 4-minute response time. So appreciate everybody's hard work. Just know that Santee Firefighters Association endorses this, and I want to keep pushing forward and keep that community involvement going. Thank you.
The next speaker is Mary Williams.
Welcome, Mary.
Good evening again. We're back 2 weeks later. My name's Mary Williams. I'm here tonight alongside my neighbors in white from the Cameron Mobile Home Estates. I want to update you on where we are as we enter our 4th week of a perpetual brownout in the park. We acknowledge that the owner, Chris Cook, has managed to get some of the area back on multimeter system. However, countless seniors are still dependent on temporary commercial generators. We cannot safely operate our air conditioners, refrigerate our food, use our microwaves, or safely charge our medical equipment or mobility devices without fear of damage. When you live knowing that there's not enough power and have to deal with the reality of constantly being underpowered, it makes even the most basic activities of daily living a struggle. A profound disparity has existed within the park for years. Park ownership systematically purchases older units for its own rental inventory, then brings in brand new high-power demand homes requiring 100 amps or more. This is while most of the other long-term residents are still restricted to just 50 amps. We hope the owner, Chris Cook, is able to get the whole park back on power. But even if successful, this does not address the underlying problem, which is the outdated private multimeter framework itself. This system will never have the physical capacity to deliver modern power. Until it is entirely replaced, catastrophic failures like this are going to be inevitable. We understand that the mobile home parks fall under the state's jurisdiction. This does not in any way limit your power to advocate for us. We need you to use your municipal voice to help our community secure a safe, modern system through the state-funded SDG&E utility conversion program, specifically under Tariff Rule 44. With the program's final deadline of 2030 closing in, if we don't get approval soon, our senior community will be permanently denied a modern grid upgrade. We formally ask the mayor, council member Ron Hall, and the entire city council to stand with us tonight by executing an official municipal letter of advocacy. We request you work with the owners and directly contact every local, county, and state official, as well as state utility regulators and executives who hold our community's future and our quality of life in their hands. Do not let the red tape delay this progress. As you sit in your air-conditioned offices on these 100-plus degree days, we want you to think about your constituents right up the street. We are having to live through this brutal summer heat wave with never enough power to feel secure or stay cool. We formally ask you tonight to direct local code compliance and the building official to evaluate the current property conditions, while also formally requesting that the San Diego Weights and Community Measures execute a park-wide sub-meter voltage drop test
The
at
next
each and
speaker
every
is going to
unit.
be a virtual public speaker, and that's going to be Becky Rapp.
Good evening. My name is Becky Rapp, and tonight I'd like to bring to your attention a study that was published just days ago in JAMA Psychiatry by researchers from the National Institute on Drug Abuse. The study analyzed more than 186,000 adults using data from 2021 through 2024. And the researchers found that cannabis use disorder is increasing while alcohol use disorder has declined. The study is critical because it addresses a very important misconception, and that's that marijuana is safer than alcohol. That comparison is being used to justify expanding marijuana access and products across the country. According to the study, in 2024, more than 1 in 3 men who used marijuana, that's 36%, had responses consistent with cannabis use disorder. And among women who used marijuana, it was more than 1 in 4 at 27%. And for young adults, the numbers are even more alarming. The CDC is also clear when it identifies cannabis use disorder and warns about impairment and other health risks. Its own materials say that cannabis can result in psychoactive effects. We should not be choosing between two public health problems when we address marijuana and alcohol. We would want to fill, if alcohol-related disorder is declining, then why would we want to fill that space with increasing potent pot products? Council members, please follow the science, not the industry talking points. Marijuana disorder is increasing, the severity is increasing, and our policies should reflect that reality. Thank you.
The next virtual speaker is going to be Kathleen Libet. Kathleen, you are unmuted and should be able to speak. Kathleen, are you there? Mayor, she's not responding. It is working. The system is actively working, so we're not having any technical issues. For the record, I did have 2 speaker slips submitted after the item started. Tonight, there's only 1 session of non-agenda public comment per our policy. Speaker slips must be called or submitted to us before the item is called.
Since we only have 1 round of non-agenda public comment, we'll go ahead and hear that testimony.
Okay, and it does sound like Kathleen might be there. Kathleen, are you available?
I should be speaking from my phone, or I'm speaking
We can hear you now.
from your live stream. I am, yes. How do I unmute here?
You are unmuted, ma'am.
Sorry.
You're speaking from your phone.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Shoot.
Mayor, she's not responding. Submitted after the item started. Tonight, there's no session of non-agenda.
Kathleen, please, I'm going to skip you and go to our in-person people. You're going to be speaking from your phone.
Here.
Okay.
I'm here. Can
Okay.
you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'll go ahead then. I'm sorry for the debacle. So, good evening. Yes. Thank you. So, good evening, Mayor and City Council. I'd like to share some data from the Searchlight Project. It was initiated by Dr. Lynn Silver, a pediatrician and public health expert. To date, some 80 smoke shops have been assessed to determine what products they are selling due to reports that these shops were selling illegal products, dangerously high THC products, and lab-created products like 7-OH. It's a potent opioid alkaloid found in kratom, but normally in very small amounts. It carries a very significant risk of addiction and harm. Permitted marijuana businesses have even offered to help find these smoke shops because their sales unfairly compete with more regulated, permitted dispensary products. The project's goal was to assess the smoke shop products, and the findings are likely rather conservative since some products are behind the desk. They have to be asked for specifically. Some people don't know what to ask for, and products are sometimes also locked up behind glass, so you can't even tell what they are selling. Santee appears to have 3 smoke shops. in the city of San Diego, these are like your corner drugstores with no rules and no oversight. What was found in the assessment was that nearly half of the stores were selling kratom, which is illegal nationwide. 20% were selling a form of 7-OH, which is the opioid alkaloid. 29% were selling kratom plants. 24% were selling giant 2-liter bottles of nitrous oxide. And the purpose of the giant bottles is so that children can share them, the same bottle with each other. 8% of the stores were selling intoxicating hemp. Most troubling was that 73% of these stores were near schools. So we hope that there will be some attention to these stores. It's a complaint-driven process.
30 seconds.
That's your police department, your vice, who will look into it. But I hope you will. And one of the strategies can be to hold them accountable and have increasing fines, ultimately resulting in removal, loss of their TRL permit. Thank you for letting me speak.
The next in-person speaker is going to be Brenda Hammond.
Hi, sorry I turned the slip in late. I thought there was going to be a second round. And I wasn't even going to speak tonight, but listening to some of the people behind me, please help these people in the mobile home park. When I was doing home health, I took care of some people in a few different mobile home communities, even one right here in Santee. Just because somebody lives in a mobile home doesn't mean they're not important. They're very important. I mean, they have this great community and they just need to be taken care of. I don't know much about the Cameron one, but I'll find out. Okay. And I love the concerts. They were great. I'm so glad that everything went well and that the deputies were present, making themselves known. I saw a couple problems with the electric bikes, but that's happening in every city. Thank you.
The final in-person speaker is going to be Stephen Gerard Sidlovsky.
Good evening, beloved Mayor, City Council, and Santee citizens. Stephen Gerard Sidlovsky, a voter out of Lorain, Ohio, but I travel the country, as you now know, as a pro-life speaker. And by now, wonderful council, you have reviewed the cover letter when I spoke a few city councils ago, and you continue to review a resolution in support of a Santee, California declaration of a friendly and safe preborn personhood city. Remember, this is something we can do now because of the U.S. Supreme Court Dobbs decision. In 1972, we were persons in our mother's womb. In 1973, we were stripped of our personhood in our mother's womb. With the U.S. Supreme Court Dobbs decision, we can now look at cities that can reestablish preborn personhood in the mother's womb. Delightfully, I'm also going to provide you voting data from the San Diego County Registrar. And the data reveals that if the citizens of Santee were to actually vote on putting preamble personhood language in your city charter, it is now estimated that you're going to win with a 5.22% vote. I believe the vote will actually be 7 to 8% because I've got a whole crew of petitioners out there who will be happy to go knock door to door, and we'll get 38% of the Democrats to commit to declaring Santee to be this pro-life city, and we'll make sure 72 to 85% of the Republicans will actually vote in this new direction too. So I'm just delighted to be here. How much time do I have left?
Minute 19, sorry, sir.
Here we go, minute 19. So here's an example of what the preamble might look like. You're going to modify it. It would say, we the people of the city of Santee declare our intent to maintain in our community the historic principles of self-governance inherent in the doctrine of home rule. We, the people of Santee, are sincerely committed to the belief that local government has the closest affinity to the people governed and firmly convinced that the economic and fiscal independence of our local government will better serve and promote the health, safety, and welfare of all the citizens of Santee. Very important, public safety. We can defend public safety in the mother's womb now. Isn't that wonderful? Think about where we are in America right now. This is something we can do. And your city's a fine city. I'm glad your citizens are on the cusp of voting conservative. Let's get back to the good old days. By the way, for those of you who don't know, I grew up in a Democratic family in Ohio. My dad was a steel mill welder. And in the good old days, like John F. Kennedy days, guess what? We were all sensible, fiscally conservative. We can do this today. God bless you all. Let's make it happen. I'll leave the information for you and for the citizens who want it. Thank you.
We have no further public comment, sir.
Great, thank you. That takes the city council reports. Anything, Vice Mayor? You first.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, I talked to Mary the other day about, this is for the Cameron. I've also talked to Chris Cook and Joe Britton with SDG&E. The front end has been fixed. They were bringing a cable from around Starbucks, he said, up to Shirley Street. So that one's been supposedly done. I never believe fixed until I'm 100% sure. And now they apparently, from what the other day I was updated, they're about 1,800 feet left, which was 50 the last time he talked. So somehow it grew. So they're working on trying to get that area taken care of. That will cover the back half of the park. So we're going to meet again. I'm going to talk to both Joe and Chris tomorrow. Brian Jones has been updated on this, so he's aware of it also. And then the final thing we're going to have to do is hopefully we can get this thing working, but the reality is, as John was saying, we do have people that are still running our generators and information like that. John, maybe you want to join us in, I'm asking the city manager to maybe do a letter, and then maybe Brian Jones has agreed to work with us on it. I'm trying to fast track it up to the PUC with Brian. And then Carl, I'm going to get together with Carl DeMaio and see what we can do about getting him working on it too. I looked at the PUC directors, no clue. I don't know if you know any of them, but I've never met them before. Normally you know these people because you see them up in Sacramento, you see them other areas, but unfortunately this group I've never even heard of. So, but I think once Brian can get in there and Carl can get in there, and if we have support from John at the SMOAC, I think if we put this all in one big letter where everybody's taking care of it, I think we can get some help. Basically, from what I understand, according to Chris, is this was supposed to happen in 2020, and they basically just said, we're out of money. And so we're not going to deal with it.
Who said they were out of money?
It's PUC. So that's what they told SG&E anyway, so.
So based on
all
the fact
secondhand,
they were out
so
of money, they weren't going to review it, the project.
they weren't going to do it at that time. So they were going to do it later on. And so, to me, this is all bureaucracy that could be worked through. SDG&E is wanting to do it, but they're saying, well, they're not offering to do it on their own, of course. They're just wanting to make sure that it gets through. Cameron, I'm not going to quote him on this, but he basically said the other day they're going to go either way. Now, I'll take that for what it's worth. When I see, me, I want a check attached to whatever they say. So we'll see if it actually works out that way or not. And so it's in the, these things are coming. If you can help us out here and get this started, we can attach a whole bunch of these together, send them up to, maybe even get some of the Cameron people to sign the petition you talked about and attach that to it too. And basically just make one big package that we can deliver to the PUC. Hopefully that'll get it. At the same time, we need to keep pushing Chris from Cameron to say, okay, well, you told me that either way you were going to do it, so let's put our money where our mouth is. at that point. So I still want to meet back with you again so we can get a little more organized. Mary had sent me a letter that I had actually sent to our city attorney and our city manager and to Joe and to Chris. So everybody's got the same letter. I think I even sent it to you, didn't I, Mayor? So I sent it to basically as many people as I legally could do that to. So we're in the works of getting it started. Well, you did a very good job on spell checking, by the way. So we made a comment on that. We had a discussion on that. So anyway, it's just a matter of putting it in a package, and you put it in a nice little book that looks just like this, and you hand it to each member, similar to what the man did right now, is put it in there, and you hand it to them that way. They can't ignore it anymore.
Thank you. Laura?
No report.
Dustin?
No report, sir.
Councilmember?
None for me, sir.
And I don't have anything either. I just would say that instead of hand them that book, why don't you throw the book at them? Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's the job of a former police officer.
City manager.
Hopefully it's addressed long before this date, but the CPUC did request meeting space here for a meeting in November. So hopefully we get a response much before then, but they will physically be here November 10th.
And
So
if they don't take care of business, boy, this is going to be a pretty full chamber.
we can fill the chambers.
That's going to make for a very long meeting.
No report, Mayor.
Okay, great, thanks. All right then, like the big long meeting I said we were going to have, and we've probably been done by now, but we goofed off too much. But we're going to go into closed session with our legal counsel, and item number 8, which is conference with labor negotiators, and then item number 9, which is conference with legal counsel on existing litigation. And if you all want to stick around for us to come out, that's great, but it's going to take us a while. And you are free to go. What kind were...